My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now.
Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. Other people are my friends. I'm just trying to make a little money. My job is not just to entertain, but to educate and teach you. So call me at 1-800-743-CBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. When is it going to come in already? I mean, that is the question on everyone's lips, but it's the wrong question. As the averages crash through more records, Dow gaining 165 points, S&P climbing 0.36%, NASDAQ advancing 0.10%, each assault on the new highs is led by a new sector. Healthcare takes over, causing the cyclicals to fall behind. Retail charges ahead while tech drops off. The rotation gives you a leader, a server, if you will, and you've got a bunch of studs at the front, jamming it down the throats of the bears. So can the Bulls keep spiking the ball with impunity? Let's check next week's game plan. All right, we kick things off with Coca-Cola, a stock that really hasn't done much. Well, because it's not getting a lot of love. PepsiCo reported a pretty good quarter and gained a bit by taking some market share, not from Coke, but from others. I worry that Coca-Cola is pure beverage with no snacking business. Remember, snacking, stay at home, people love that stuff. But I still expect a good number from them. And a great story about food service reopenings. I think Coca-Cola does well. Don't know if it goes as well as PepsiCo. After the close, we hear from United Airlines. And if it's anything like Delta, you're going to hear about the coming boom. So the stock market can continue the terrific run, even as it's already up. This thing, it seems up 30% for the year. And it's going to continue going. I really do think. I think it's the right place to be. Next up, what will the new IBM do? The one that kept the fast-growing businesses led by Red Hat? I think it's too early to tell, but the stock's been hanging in there. And lately, the older tech names have been pretty darn strong. HP, Oracle, Dell, maybe IBM joins them. Tuesday morning, we get results from three companies that we are typically, let's just call them stalwarts of the earnings season. Abbott Labs, Johnson & Johnson, and Procter & Gamble. Abbott's done such great work on COVID diagnostics. Hey, the at-home test is here. That it's hard to believe they won't hit it out of the park. J&J's gotten a lot more controversial, though I think it's been unfairly punished by a CDC that seems more intent on scaring the public out of getting a vaccination than actually getting people vaccinated with some safety. I bet J&J has a fantastic quarter and reveals an even better pipeline. But Procter & Gamble, the street's actually worried about this one. First, there are tough comparisons versus the stay-at-home numbers they were putting up a year ago. Second, they're coping with real inflation from plastics, surfactants, freight, and that's putting pressure on their margins. I don't think they can pass on the entirety of those costs to the consumer. Too much competition. Now, after the close, Netflix reports. This should be fun. Netflix typically beats the numbers, and the principals always seem to have a great time talking about their business. They love what they do and don't take themselves too seriously. I find myself taking as many notes about what series to watch as what numbers they're going to put up. What can I say? Even the Netflix conference call has good content. Wednesday, we hear from Verizon. Will this stock ever move again, or is it just epoxied to the high 50s? I'm beginning to believe it's stuck there, making it feel like more of a bond than a stock. I wonder if CEO Hans Vestberg will be feeling any heat, especially given all the money he'll have to spend on towers after the recent Spectrum auction. I'm expecting nothing new here. If you got to own a phone company, I have to tell you, I prefer T-Mobile. After the close, we get results from what I bet will be the two of the week's best performers, Lam Research, LRCX, and Chipotle. Lam is the answer to the semiconductor shortage. They make the equipment needed to manufacture new chips. The whole semiconductor capital equipment industry is they simply can't handle all the business. They're not able to. When you hear Taiwan Semi endlessly talking about raising its capital equipment budget, that means that Lam is going to make a fortune. To think that they bought millions of shares back at dramatically lower prices, smart management, great execution, fantastic group of guys. As for Chipotle, its stock has been hanging around near its all-time highs for a little while now, biding its time, I think, for the big breakout. And I think you're going to see that next week when management talks about the pickup in business that's happening thanks to the great reopening. I'm betting this paragon of great natural food and phenomenal customer service will blow the doors off the quarter, triggering another round of price target boosts as the analysts desperately try to play catch up to the stock price. Thursday's got so much happening that I can't really do it justice, but we're going to start with Union Pacific. Oh, my. Well, look, I'm at home. I can't tell it very easily. I'm not going to press the train wreck button. I'm looking for the all board button, but that's not here. That's okay. Anyway, you look at the magic. Is this magic? See where I am, really? All right, anyway. I think Union Pacific's going to tell a story of making more with less, meaning efficiency galore. Then there's Dow Chemical. If PPG's any guide from last night, it should put up some amazing numbers, allowing the stock to break out to the 70s. And that's a huge gain from where it was trading when CEO Jim Fitterling came on the show after he bought a boatload of stock in the 20s. We also hear from Danaher, and I can't wait to see how well they're doing. This company's got tremendous high growth healthcare business, part of which they picked up from GE for a song. I expect a fantastic quarter. How about Nucor, best of breed steelmaker? We're in an inflationary year where it's transitory or whether it's not. So Nucor should put up some incredible numbers. That's no surprise if you're paying attention when they came on the show not that long ago. But I think we're going to hear about a return to the halcyon era of steelmaking in this country. After the close, we get results from the newly controversial Intel, now led by the terrific Pat Gelsinger, who's become an evangelist for a company that certainly needed one. I think Pat's doing a terrific job inspiring people both inside and outside the great institution. If the stock gets hit, I'd be a buyer. Gelsinger can't turn the Intel battleship on a dime, but it will be turned. How many companies can make a spiked seltzer before it actually hurts Boston Beer's Truly brand? We heard from Constellation 2 weeks ago with its Corona seltzer. I think the shorts will be leaning against Boston Beer, as they always do, because of the competition. My view, the category is growing so rapidly the parent Sam Adams should do just fine, thank you. Friday morning, we hear from two companies with fantastic stories to tell, Honeywell, HON, and American Express, AXP. Now, the former really should be biding its time, waiting for aerospace orders, but that's not how CEO Darius Adamczyk does business. Honeywell's becoming a software as a building service play, not to mention an incredible healthcare company. I think the numbers can go higher still. As for American Express, it's all about gauging the power of the great reopening. With its combination of small business, remember they offer credit, travel and entertainment lines, we should be able to get a good read on the strength of the recovery going forward. It's going to be a fantastic barometer. Finally, also on Friday, the CEO of Bristol Myers, Dr. Giovanni Cavario, well, he's going to take the stage to explain what his company's got going for it. I think the world of both Cavario and Bristol Myers. But can the stock break away from the pack? Not clear. Maybe we'll hear how much money these guys have really made from the Celgene acquisition, and then maybe we got some justification for the Myocardia purchase. That could be big. Here's the bottom line. Next week marks the beginning of the real earnings season, not the bank earnings season. It's very boring. And we're actually going to get the impact of both inflation and the reopening. I think the former's a big negative, but the latter's so positive that the ball can stay in the air, ready for beautiful stuff over the net and to the floor. I say we take calls. I say we go to Gregory in California. Gregory.
Hi, Jim. As a COVID survivor and J&J vaccine recipient, I just want to say how grateful I am to you for your honesty regarding the CDC and how ludicrous their behavior is. Because frankly, it's left me feeling a little bit unvaccinated.
They've done, frankly, their narrative that they've created is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. But go ahead. How can I help?
So 3 months ago, this company IPO'd at $49 and doubled on its debut. Today, it's trading somewhere in the high 60s. You know, they did a similar deal with Shopify that PayPal did with eBay way back in the day. This company had an exclusive point of sale rights for ShopPay, Shopify's checkout service. They also have a similar deal with Walmart. They're growing at 45% year over year with 75% gross margins. I'm not looking for a double like in the next quarter or anything, but over the next year or two, am I wrong thinking firmly that a firm is a fist-pounding buy?
Well, booyah, that's a good way to put it. Look, I think the world of Max Levchin was on this week on Tech Check, which is the new show that I think is fantastic. Here's the issue. There's the competition out of nowhere. I mean, there's just competition out of literally nowhere. I think a firm's going to hold its own, and I exactly why you like it, I like it, which they made a deal with Shopify, and Shopify wouldn't just make a deal with anyone. I think you're fine, but it's not going to roar too much competition. All right, earnings season is shifting into high gear next week, and that's when we'll learn about the real impact of inflation, but also the real positive, the great reopening. On Mad Money tonight, could Chamath-backed insurance disruptor called Metro Mile be worth considering here? I think you got to find out about this one. I'm going to take a close look. Then, the most controversial of all, QuantumScape stock dropped more than 12% yesterday after short seller Scorpion Capital published a report questioning the company's battery performance claims and pretty much called it the next Theranos. I'm giving CEO Jagdeep Singh the floor. Tell his side of the story. And it's one of the tech sector's newest unicorns. Has private player The Zebra earned its stripes? I've got the exclusive. So stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @JimCramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.